In some ways, the Roman Empire was a high point of early civilization. After the fall of the Roman Empire and the Middle Ages, cities were a lot smaller in the Western world. People could get by on the local springs and groundwater supply, and they built much smaller types of water importation systems.
People lived where the water was. People lived near the shoreline, or they lived near creeks and lakes and near natural springs. That meant Europe, and that meant South America. It meant not the deserts.
This is Annecy. Let's try to cross. Thank you. In our country, most of the cities are built along a river or at a crossroad of two rivers. It wouldn't exist without the river. It would be only a little village like it used to be when it was Annecy-le-Vieux. From the 12th century, especially, Annecy developed along the river, the Tillou River. This is the Tillou River. The Tillou River is the outlet of the lake. It is only 3.5 kilometers long. But the settlement, the human settlement, was due to the power of the river.
So the river sets the rhythm and the design and the boundaries of the city.
Yes.
The city builds up around the river and around the lake.
Yes, it was the main axis. And the population was going by boat, like in Venice. And the heavy things were transported by the lake and delivered directly into the houses.
The idea popped up in many places almost simultaneously. It seems that flowing water could be harnessed and amplified and concentrated to achieve some industrial purpose or to reduce labor. Instead of a human grinding grain, the millstone going in a circle could do that for us. The water would flow over the wheel, it would spin the wheel, and the wheel was connected by often wooden gears and transmission that would rotate a mill or a millstone to grind grain. Or you could use it to crush oil seeds like rapeseed or olives to get oils out. You could also use it to polish glass. So there are a variety of things you could use mechanical power for that were very useful, and the water gave us that mechanical power.
The most important raw materials here were metal and wood. So the specialty of Annecy was knives,
Probably scissors and things.
iron pots,
Yeah.
scissors, and so on. Thanks to the energy of the water. During the Middle Age, only the noble people or the religious community, religious orders were allowed to have meals. After the French Revolution, of course, the wheels could be property of anybody.
Over time, empires also used water as a show of power. Kings would use water as a show of strength and opulence. And this reminds me of Versailles, with the fountains that were so excessive but really impressive, using the water almost like a show of liquid gold. Another show of opulence is to have really well manicured gardens, which means you need to have water to grow them and people to manage them. So you have slaves or servants and a lot of water available. And then also you'd have indoor gardens with these orangeries or these greenhouses where you could grow food year round. You could grow citrus even in the winter because the greenhouses would keep them warm. Today, fountains are pretty common. We have drinking fountains in the hallways, and we have sculptures with fountains that spray water because electric pumps are so readily available. It seems so common. But if you go back a couple hundred years, fountains were really dramatic because they didn't have electricity. They did not have electric pumps. You had to use gravity-fed systems with tanks and cisterns and other things that would let the water flow and then come out of the fountains, spraying into the air in a very elaborate fashion. So to have a fountain with water flowing out of it, shooting into the sky was really incredible. So there are kings or monarchs who were too opulent or too consumptive with their behavior, and eventually their reigns ended. And we could look at that as an analogy for what could happen in the United States or elsewhere. If we waste our energy and water resources, our reign might end also.